Hey, what is up, Facebook? Ricky V here. Hey, I made the commitment this year, 2018, to do at least one Facebook Live every single week. I know a lot of people are doing, one a day, 3 a week, 4 a week, 5 a week. You guys are ahead of me. For me, Facebook Lives are literally one of the things that scare me the most. But I've committed to doing one Facebook Live every single week, if not more. I want to get to that point where I do more and more and more and more. Really, one of my goals this year is to dominate a lot of social media channels. And I got a lot to share, and a lot of people want me to share it. And so I'm going to do my best. So this specific Facebook Live is not so much for you as it is for me. Because I just want to make sure that I stick to my commitments. I have not missed one single day of doing what I said I would do this year so far, and it's only been 10 days, I believe. But hey, it's the beginning. This is where you start. So let's get to it. And by the way, I'm going to kind of introduce myself just so you all know who I am. If those of you are brand new to plugging into anything that I do don't do a lot of stuff on social media, but I want to do more this year and just give back to more people, make a greater impact, and do the things that I really want to do. So what's up, Freya? What's up, Nikolai? What's up, Maria? What's up, Chrissy? What's up, everyone? Hey, and by the way, if you find value in anything at all that I share with you all, share it with the world. That's all I ask. I don't really have any kind of programs or anything like that. I don't do that whole deal. I just give stuff away for free. So what's up, Danielle? How are you? And hey, I'm still fired up about the new year because I made a goal. I have this whole calendar built out, and I have these habits that I'm doing every single day. And my goal every single day has been to, my mantra for this year is not missing one day. Literally, I do not want to miss one day of eating healthy. I don't want to miss one day of reaching out to people. I don't want to miss one day of reading books. I don't want to miss out on a day of listening to something positive. I want to make sure that I'm very consistent every single day, because as we all know, it's not rocket science. It's just logical things that if you do something long enough every single day, something is going to happen. What's up, Marvin? What's up, Kayla? So again, if you find value in what I share, just share it with the world, and I'm going to get to it. I love to just kind of be myself. I don't really ever plan these things. As I was getting ready to, go out for the day, go pick up my son from school, go to the gym, I wanted to just make sure that I check this off my list. Otherwise, you get that mindset of like, oh, I'll just do it later, and then later turns into tomorrow turns into next week, and then never. What's up, Fernanda? How are you, my friend? What's up, Susan? What's up, Armand, my brother? Hey, we're going to get to it. By the way, I set some new health challenges. One of my health challenges this year is to have a six-pack by October 1st. Keep in mind, I've never had a six-pack. Why? I'm Peruvian. I eat food. Like, that's what I do. And so this year, I'm kind of increasing like my whole discipline mentality, my whole consistency mentality, and I want to do things that I've never done before. I want to think things I've never thought before, accomplish things physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, on every single level, and just really break every single record that I've ever set in my life for myself, not for anybody else, but for myself. Again, this Facebook Live is for me. It's not for you, but hey, if you get value from it, great. My goal is to dominate social media this year, and that's exactly what I will do. Period, because whenever I commit to something, I just get it done. I wrote down a few things. Number one, being intentional with what you do. I receive calls sometimes, people asking me, hey, how do I get to this rank in my company? Hey, how do I do this? Or hey, can you help me set up a game plan? The bottom line is this: if you're not intentional in where you're going, you already messed up. Just because your company has a hot product, just because your company has a hot compensation plan, just because your company has a hot leader, just because your company is breaking records, does not mean that you're going to be breaking records. Period. End of story. Unless you have a sheet of paper and you've written down goals that you're going to accomplish this year, period, the vehicle doesn't matter unless you know where you're going. And we hear that all the time. It's probably one of the most cliche things that we hear. But the bottom line is this: if you haven't taken time out of your day to plan your life, then a product or a compensation plan or a leadership retreat or a convention, none of that's going to change your life unless you've committed to being somewhere different this year. It's your moment. I keep saying this from the beginning. It's your moment. It's my moment. One of the things that was so clear to me the last few weeks of December was that 2018 was going to be record breaker for me. I don't know why. I don't know how. I just felt something different inside me. I felt something different in my mindset and my energy, and I started just writing things down. The last day before the year ended, what I did is I had these notes out. And I was writing everything that I wanted. I was writing down every single thing that I wanted to achieve, that I wanted to do, that I wanted to just see throughout my whole 2018. And believe me, it was a lot. And I got a little overwhelmed. But then I pulled out a calendar and I started piecing things together with dates, with pictures, with things that I'm going to do, things that I'm going to see. And finally, I got clear of where I'm going to end up in 2018. And all of a sudden, the feeling of like just accomplishment was done. So, like every great architect, like every great leader, like every great person, mentor out there, you first have to design your life before you go out and build it through any kind of vehicle. So number one is just being intentional. The second part about being intentional is being intentional with what you're saying, being intentional with what you're thinking, being intentional the way you even smile. You know, there's a certain law, I forgot the law, what it's called, but it's almost like just having the intention of, if you are with someone, like if you are talking to someone, doesn't matter who it is. I think it's a law of impression. If you are talking to someone at the grocery store, you've never met them before, but you go up with a smile and confidence because in your mind is your goals. You know your mind is already flooded with your goals. Your mind is already flooded with abundance. Your mind is already flooded with success. And when you go up to that person, they don't know you. You say hi with confidence. You get to know them. You ask them how they're doing for the day, and you walk off. That person is left with an impression of you. They're left being impressed. They're left feeling like, wow, that person knows where they're going. That person really understands, how to live life, period. Like there's a certain energy. You ever meet those people that walk into a room and every single head turns over, they look at them and they have no idea who that person is, but they just feel this, like, it's like this aura, it's this presence of someone walking into the room where, well, each and every single one of you has that. Whether you believe it or not, whether you've ever tapped into it or not, try it. Go up to every single person you meet today and go with intention, go with energy, go with enthusiasm, go with confidence, go with posture, and watch what happens. Same thing. If you're behind the scenes messaging people, talking about your opportunity, if you're behind the scenes messaging people, talking about your product, don't just talk about it, feel it. Be intentional as you're reaching out to people saying this product is the best freaking product that you will ever experience in your life. Let that sink in your mind as you're sending out messages to people, because guess what? Energy doesn't lie. That's something that's proven. We've seen it all along. So number one thing that I'll say is just be intentional. The next thing is write down some goals, okay? There's a specific exercise that Brian Tracy, whenever he does these seminars, he talks to people and says, what you got to do is just bring out a piece of paper and start writing things down. Write down 100 different goals that you want to achieve over the course of your lifetime. Doesn't have to be dated, whatever it is. Just write down 100 goals that you want to achieve before the end of your life. So, He talks about how he's had certain people do those different exercises, and it's been pretty interesting to watch how many people's lives start to take a different direction. It starts to just blow up. They start to go sky high. They hit the pinnacle of the things they've wanted to achieve just by writing down 100 different goals they want to achieve for the rest of their life. So this is where you got to think bigger, but go out there today and think. It's the craziest thing. We go around all day thinking about things that we want. We never take time to write it down, and when it's time to write it down, you actually have to think about writing down 100 things, because you may get to 20, you may get to 30, you may get to 40, and all of a sudden you start running out. If you run out, just wait a few days as you're going along throughout your day, and you start to see maybe a car that you want to drive, a vacation that you want to go on, a house that you want to live in, a person that you want to meet, a book you want to read, a book you want to write, a podcast you want to host, whatever it is. Just write things down. Write the craziest things down that begin to fuel you and feed you even in more of a positive direction. So, be intentional. Write down 100 goals and get it done this month. Get it done this month, and you're going to see that you're going to have a different energy about you. So the next thing is, after you've written it down, select your top 10 and write those 10 down every single day. Every single day you should be writing something down. There's a certain magic and a certain, people talk about it everywhere. It doesn't matter who you are. If you're listening to successful people talk, the one thing that they have in common is that they all wake up early. right? Whether or not they go to sleep late, or I don't know how they go to sleep or what time they go to sleep, but I'll tell you one thing, the biggest thing for me is to really help people understand that what you got to do more than anything is just make sure. That's my son. I have this rule with my kids that they can be as loud as they want when I do Facebook Lives. So anyway, so write it down every single day. And one of the things that the successful people have in common is that they're always focused on waking up early, because you know, especially like I look at myself, I have kids. If my kids beat me to the morning, the rest of the day is done for me, because I'm just like, my gosh, like, you know, they're screaming, or they want breakfast, they're hungry, they want to play, they want to wrestle, they want to do all these crazy things, they want to have tea parties. And so for me, there was just no other way around it. Like there was no other way possible that I could beat the day without waking up early, beat my kids without waking up early. And one of the biggest denominators of successful people is that they all wake up early. They all have that moment, their first 2 or 3 hours of peace. They have 2 or 3 hours of just this quietness where they can think, they can meditate, they can write things down. And so one of the most important things that you can do for yourself is wake up a little bit earlier, even if that means that you got to go to bed a little bit earlier. But when you wake up at 5 a.m. or when you wake up at 6 a.m. and you have a couple of hours before the rest of the family wakes up, and in those 2 hours you're reading, in those 2 hours you're writing, in those 2 hours you're thinking, you're meditating, you're visualizing, you're reviewing your goals, you do that every single day for 365 days, all of a sudden things are going to start to shift differently for you. You're going to start to carry yourself differently. Even if you don't see the results in 3 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe 6 weeks later, you catch yourself dominating a conference call. You catch yourself dominating a Facebook Live. You catch yourself dominating different things just because you've continued to feed yourself more and more, and you've waken up early, you've read the books, you've listened to the audios, and you've done your thing. So those hopping on, hey, thanks so much for coming on. I appreciate you all. If you find value in what I'm sharing, just share it with the world. Click share. Let me know so I can give you a shout out. The next thing that I wrote down is work, right? If you work, hey, cool. If you work, then that's good. If you work, that's great. And if you work until the job is done, the job gets done. There's no way around the work, right? You can visualize all you want, you can read all you want, you can listen to all you want, but the only thing that'll get you to where you want to be is by taking full-on action. When you see people out there that they're telling you, hey, you know, I'm talking to people, I'm doing the whole thing, and they're not achieving what they want, you can already tell they have a broke mentality. And if someone is out there working on themselves, meaning they're reading the books, listening to the audios, but they're not achieving their goals, then they're not taking action. But if they're doing both and they do it for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, all of a sudden it's going to blow up. All I know is I'm here to tell you that I've been through ups and downs. I got started in this industry when I was 21 years old. I'm 29 years old now, right? I've registered products and companies in different products and companies in different countries. I've built teams of tens of thousands. I've been able to travel the world. I've been able to meet people different ages. And one thing I know is that everyone wants it. Everybody wants it. Everyone wants to have some kind of success. Everyone wants happiness. Every single person wants freedom. Every single person wants that time to spend doing the things that they really love. And the only way you really achieve those things is by first actually giving them up. You got to give a little bit of your TV time up. You got to give a little bit of your family time up, and you got to invest into your goals. You got to invest into your business. If you're not where you want to be financially, if you're struggling financially right now, then there's only one goal and one mission that you're on right now, and that is cranking up the income. Cranking up the income, because as much as people want to say money doesn't make you happy, it really does. Like, it really does make you happy, because when you take that money and you take your family to Disneyland, if you take that money and you surprise your parents with a trip to another country, or you take this money and you pay off a home for your family, or you pay for your kids' college before they're even in college, when you're able to do those things, that is happiness. And guess what? You need money for it. Don't deny it. The moment you start denying yourself, the moment you start saying, hey, you know what? I don't need $100,000 a month. I'm okay with $5,000 a month. You already lost the race, because now you're just justifying why you should only ever make $5,000 a month. When you dream bigger, you got to accept the fact that you've been given the ability to not only dream that thing, but you've also been given the ability to go out there and break records. Every single one of us, every single one of you. And it's that time. So I committed to myself in 2017 2018 will be my biggest year ever, period. And I committed that. I've been saying that to myself. I've been visualizing that every single morning. I've been taking action on it. And watch what happens this year. But it's not about me. It's not even about a specific company or any single person. It's about you. When you decide that it's your moment, when you decide that it's your time to go out there and just talk to 50 people a day, when it's your time to really focus on your vision board day in and day out, when it's your time to really say your affirmations 24/7, when you decide it's time to truly get obsessed and accept the fact that it's your time, then all of a sudden your mind believes it. All of a sudden you believe it. You have this different energy. You have this aura. You go out there, you take action, you break every single record that you've ever set for yourself, period. You know, don't compete with anybody but yourself, right? So with that, thank you so much for listening. Again, my name is Ricky V, and if you're watching this and you get some kind of value, whether it's right now or whether it's in the replay, drop a 1 below. I want to know if I'm adding value to you. The next thing is this, is if you find even more value in it, share it with people, share it with other people, because you know, what goes around comes around, right? So you got to share the love as well. And I appreciate you all so much. I'm going to wrap it up right now. Everyone have an incredible Wednesday and just make 2018 record breaker. It's only January 10th, I believe, and it's time to get it. So drop a 1 if it's your time. Drop a 1 if it's your moment. Drop a 1 if you're committed. Drop a 1 if it's just the time is now and you're over what you've been seeing in your life over the last 5 years. Maybe you're grateful for it. Hey, I'm grateful for it. But what you should even be more grateful for is the things coming. Right now, be grateful for the things that are coming. Anyways, with that, you all have an incredible Wednesday. Love you all. Take care.